So let's just take a little moment to settle in. I'm Jeremy, and welcome to my channel. You're probably watching this because it's the beginning of the new year. Actually, I have no idea when you're watching this. I'm posting this in January, but you could stumble upon this at any point in time. At any rate, you're considering making a change, you're thinking about your health for whatever reason, and you want to try going vegan or plant-based at this point in your life. So what the goal of this video is to be a bit of a primer for people that are looking to go plant-based or vegan, and shedding some light on the fact that it's not as hard as you think it is. And in fact, in a lot of ways, it's going to simplify your life. And if nothing else, it's going to make you feel a hell of a lot better for various reasons. Hopefully by the end of this video, you're walking away feeling not only confident, but inspired about your new choice and how easy it's gonna be and fun and delicious and all those things. So grab a warm beverage of your choice and settle in. If you're new to the channel, feel free to take a moment to subscribe, leave a comment, let me know where you're watching this from. Like the video if at some point in this video you decide that you like it. And now we're gonna start with what I think is the most important thing on starting this journey. You have got to know your why. Why is it that you wanna make this change? Is it because you wanna lose weight? Is it just for your health in general? Is it because you love animals so much? Is it because of environmental reasons? There's a lot of reasons to start eating plant-based or vegan. And so it's really, really important that you narrow down what yours is, because that's the kind of thing that's gonna be your guiding light towards this entire journey. If you make little slip-ups along the way, if you have any confrontations with people wondering why you're doing this, it's gonna be kind of like your beacon that you can return to. It's the kind of thing that's going to keep you accountable as well. And with that in mind, what I would love you to do is take a moment and leave a comment down below, letting me know what your why is. I think it's also really important and encouraging and inspiring for other people that are watching this video as well, to see all the different reasons people have for eating this way. And maybe yours lines up with one of theirs, and you can start a dialogue between them as well. You don't have to go this way all at once. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. That's how a lot of people get started on this way of eating and then abandon it just as quickly. I myself took about 12 years before I went from being a full carnivore to being what I consider whole food, plant-based, or vegan. I saw the documentary Forks Over Knives, and then I watched Steven Soderbergh's film Fast Food Nation, which horrified me by the end scene of the killing floor. And then I just started reading a lot of other things. And so at the beginning, I just went pescatarian. I kept on eating fish and ovo-lacto-vegetarian, which is like eggs and cheese and all that kind of stuff, and milk. Still had my ice creams. And it took me about another 10 years after that to start cutting all that other stuff out. So my journey was a really, really long one. I called it my farewell tour. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. And if it takes you a while to go along this journey, that's okay, and it's normal, and it's probably more realistic and healthy as well. And if you slip up, that's okay, it happens. I slipped up about 6 months into being plant-based, and I ate a cookie with a ton of butter in it. And I'll tell you right now, I didn't need any other punishment than what it did to my stomach. It's about the journey, not about the destination. It's not about perfection. Get that out of your head from the get-go. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna miss your old food from time to time. That's okay. Nobody gives a shit about what you eat until you start eating healthy. It's really kind of bonkers and hilarious and a little bit adorable. And for other people that are eating healthy but eat things like keto or paleo or whatever else, they'll probably tell you that you're doing healthy wrong. That's a fun and hilarious thing. Let's argue about how to be healthy amongst healthy people. It's kind of a gross waste of time. But it'll happen to you, unfortunately. The bottom line is that it is your body, and you are free to ignore everyone's opinion that is not your own. Most people are pretty ill-informed when it comes to health, and it usually comes around the bias of whatever it is that they're doing in their lives that they don't want to accept is maybe unhealthy. For some reason, people start taking it as a real personal affront when other people in their lives start making healthier choices. They get really, really defensive about what they do and why they do it. And really, that's a lot more to do with them than it is about you. It's almost like it reinforces that they're making unhealthy choices in their lives, and that makes them feel shitty about themselves. But instead of having to confront that and make a change for themselves, it's much easier for them to kind of reach out and attack you and your choices and the things that you're doing well. So, just ignore that person. Don't let them get into your head. Smile, let them finish what they're saying, and then just move right the heck on. Everyone's gonna have opinions and questions. Engage with them when they're being respectful and ignore them when they're not. There are times when people are gonna make you feel crappy about your choice to do this. You can't control that. Don't go crazy trying to control the things and the people that you can't control. Have compassion and patience for both them and yourself. Return back to your why you're doing it, why it's important to you, and just ignore all the noise otherwise. That said, it's really, really important for you to learn how to answer some of these questions you're gonna get from people. So read some books, watch some documentaries, listen to some podcasts. There's no shortage of information out there to help you on your journey, including videos like this and other ones that are on my channel, as well as some other really great YouTubers out there. There's also really awesome vegan and plant-based support groups on things like Facebook and Reddit and wherever else you do your social media. There's no shortage of great other people that can inspire you and that you can engage with and have conversations with. We'll talk about the health side of it a little bit more in a few seconds, but first let's talk about the food. I mean, food's important. That's why you're here. You're eating vegan food. You want to know about food. Let's do that. Do not reinvent the wheel when you start out. Start by picking flavors and foods that are already in your wheelhouse that you already enjoy. It's gonna make your transition way easier. In fact, make a list of all the foods that you already eat that are accidentally vegan. Things like oatmeal or peanut butter sandwiches, a lot of salads, stir fries. These are just some ideas, but there's a lot of them out there. A lot of people eat vegan food not even realizing it's vegan sometimes. And then for your favorite foods that aren't necessarily vegan, figure out how to make versions of that. I literally built an entire website around that, pbwithj.ca. All the food on there are meals that I legitimately love and found ways to veganize. It's all comfort food. It's stuff that's very kid-friendly, very family-friendly, and they're easy to make, and often you can make them on a weeknight in 30 minutes or less. Things like stews and casseroles and stir fries, lots of different cuisines from Indian to Italian. There's no shortage of delicious, simple meals that I just love because they're comforting and delicious and don't necessarily make me feel like I'm being healthy all the time.
This is happiness in a sandwich.
That said, if you're not looking to be overly ambitious in the kitchen, there's also just a world full of really, really great cheese and meat alternatives now. The trick is to keep on trying them until you find one that you like, because not all are created equal. There's some really crappy products out there. Don't have one, see that it tastes terrible, and then just assume that all vegan alternatives are not good. That's not the case. There's tons out there. Some are better than others. Give them a whirl. If you have ones that you've already tried and you like, let me know in the comments below so others can seek them out as well. Let this time period be a transition. I kind of don't eat a lot of these meat alternatives anymore. I try to err on the side of a whole food plant-based, which means that you're not eating overly processed foods. But I return to these from time to time as kind of a treat. You know, my son really loves these things, so if we're having like a guy's night, these are the kind of things I'll have with him. One of the really important things when it comes to food is stop focusing on all the things that you don't eat anymore and focus on the stuff that you do. It's not about what you lose, it's about what you gain. And as you start eating more whole foods and more vegetables and all that kind of stuff, it might take your palate time to adjust. Again, be patient, have compassion with yourself. I'm constantly shocked by the things that I love now that I probably wouldn't have eaten 5 years ago. Be patient and open-minded, and just give yourself extra time to cook when you're cooking, because it takes a little while to get used to cooking this way and eating this way. Just be patient. Love yourself. Love your food. All the things. So let's forget everything that you thought you knew about veganism when it comes to the nutrients, the cost, and the flavors, because most of the bullshit you've heard is all wrong. Vegan food has every single thing your body needs, from both the macronutrients, that is what everyone talks about, right down to the micronutrients because of all of the vegetables and other kind of things you're going to be eating more of. There's lots of expensive meat and cheese alternatives out there and that kind of stuff, but it can also be the cheapest diet on the planet. The one thing that's going to take some adjusting to is listening to your stomach. Eating plant-based, particularly whole food plant-based, means that the food you're eating has lower calories, which means that you need to eat more of it. It's going to feel weird and kind of counterintuitive that you're eating more food. You're going to feel like maybe even you're overeating, but you're not. You really got to listen to your body. You're either going to need to eat more often, so that means a couple healthy snacks throughout the day, or larger meals when you sit down to have a meal. And that's okay. Enjoy it. It's kind of awesome in a lot of ways that you get to eat more and not less. When it comes to supplements, the only one you really need is B12, and that's the kind of thing that meat eaters and carnivores will try to use as a weapon against you. But the reality is that their B12 that they get through animals is given to animals as a supplement. It doesn't occur naturally in animals. So whether you eat it as a supplement in a pill form as a vegan, or it's fed to animals and then the animals eat it, and then we eat the animals, it's the same damn thing. You're actually just getting a purer form of it than whatever the carnivores are getting. The other supplement I would recommend getting though is vitamin D, because we don't spend as much time in the sun as we should. We also wear sunblock and whatnot. But this counts whether you're vegan or whether you eat meat, because both people are generally a little bit low in vitamin D. If you are concerned about getting enough macronutrients and micronutrients, feel free to take some time to use an app like Chronometer to type in your food and what you're eating, and just getting a sense of your base levels and making sure that you're getting a balance between your fats and your proteins and all those other things. That's okay. Take some time to get used to all those kind of things. Just don't become overly obsessed with them, because if you do eat a balanced diet overall, all of those things will round out nicely. There's also a really great app that I really love called The Daily Dozen that helps you just kind of tick off all of the things that you should be eating as someone who is plant-based. And it kind of naturally shows you the balance of the kind of food you should have, that you can eat in abundance, and then ones that you should probably not overeat. So those are the things like your fats, like your nuts and whatnot, so that way you don't gain weight. Those are the kind of foods that you will gain weight with on a plant-based diet, is nuts and fats and those kind of things. So those are really the only things you have to try to eat in moderation. So one fun surprise you're gonna find as a plant-based person is that you're gonna poop a lot more. That's because your food is chock full of fiber. This is a good thing. It means you're gonna have good colon health. It means that your system is gonna be cleaned out on a regular basis. Don't freak out about it. Honestly, it's a weird thing when you eat every day, especially 3 meals plus snacks, and you don't poop every day. Think about that. Think about how many times in your life you went days without pooping, eating on a standard North American diet. That's not healthy for you. You should be pooping as often as you would poop as a vegan. I'm sorry for saying poop so many times. Actually, I'm not. Poop is a fun word. The bottom line is this is the healthiest way for you to eat both for your body and for longevity. I feel way healthier in my 40s than I ever felt in my 20s. So as much as I said at the beginning of this video that it's not hard, it does require some work. But your health should require some work and some effort. It means that you care, that you're putting some extra effort into it, right? It's gonna feel hard at times. People are gonna judge you and have a lot of questions. It'll get better. You're gonna have fun trying new meals, experimenting in the kitchen, challenging your taste buds. Just remember that every single person's journey is their own. Don't judge yourself based on how someone else was able to go vegan faster and maybe they lost weight faster or whatever it is. Take your time, make it your own journey. Again, progress, not perfection. Just make sure that you're eating a nice, balanced diet that's based on your own tastes and what you enjoy.
Should we cheers it?
Yeah.
I want the biggest bite.
If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like to this video, and also a comment to let me know where you're at on your vegan or plant-based journey or whatever you're doing. And if you want to know more about what I eat in a week as someone who's plant-based, check out this video right here. Thanks.